My name is Faunty Gillmer. I'm the president of the South African National Pigeon Association, which is the organization for raising pigeons in South Africa. This is our annual show. The show is hosted in Cape Town in combination with the Fancy Pigeons organization, two people in charge, Mr. Verdeel Hendricks in the Fancy Pigeons and Mr. Willie van der Berg in the Racing Pigeons. Racing pigeons is a very popular sport in South Africa. On the moment we have got a membership of about 4,000 and we are bringing in young people, youngsters into the sport as fast as we can. Racing pigeons are actually used for racing weekly to a race from the liberation point to the house. And before we start usually or afterwards we have a show where we select the best covering feathered pigeons, the best quality built pigeons, nice soft silky feathers, birds which has been looked through very well in the off season and is presentable to the judges for placing them in the various positions. Fancy pigeons or show pigeons actually very seldom comes out of the loft. They stay in the house where the people treat them and to go through the molt, and it's also a nice condition, has got to have good feathering. Racing pigeons, it's a sport that can be played in your backyard. You need a loft, a couple of good pigeons, a pigeon clock, and it's a whole family sport. It's been recognized throughout the world. South Africa hosts a couple of good races per season, which is roughly for a club about 40 races, 20 young birds or yearlings and 20 in the old bird section. Now each and every organization has got their own awards. We had a couple of years ago an international competition in South Africa, a show as well as a racing. So we do complete internationally every couple of, say about 10 years. Being with all the quarantine on the moment, it's difficult to take the pigeons out overseas, but we do import birds to South Africa. First of all, to judge a racing pigeon, you've got to be a qualified judge. The first thing to look for is general appearance. In other words, how does a bird present itself? A soft feathering, the build of the pigeon, a good wing, bone structure, a rear fork and vent. Now, a racing pigeon is a specific breed, bred for the job, mated. Actually, by selection, two good pigeons will be mated together, which you breed a hopeful, very good racer, as the same as the parents. To be raised is actually a very exciting job because the birds or the pigeons has got to be fed the right food, rung at the right stage. In other words, around about 8 to 10 days, you can fit the ring. Later than that, you really can't actually put a ring on the leg, and a racing pigeon has got to have a ring on its leg. Pigeon sport has got an advantage. You can do it in your backyard, and actually once the youngsters or the children has been addicted to the sport, it keeps them off the street, keeps them out of the difficult circumstances out of life, and they will attend the pigeon loft and stay in the pigeon loft. It's really a motivating sport, and I think this is actually the right sport to accomplish children with live animals. The responsibility by feeding pigeons in the morning and feeding them in the afternoon, giving them water and attend to them, breeding youngsters, it really motivates children to become animal lovers, and becoming animal lovers, they become better people.